Welcome, welcome. Monday night. Monday night is us. We are Monday night. Well, not every Monday night. You get to watch The Bachelorette when we're not on. And you probably are watching The Bachelorette tonight. But anyway, we're grateful to be here. We just got a lot of fun ideas. And I just love shopping and collecting all these ideas and throwing them out there because I see a lot back. And I know what you do is you take parts and pieces and put them together in your own way. And that's what it's all about. That's truly what it's all about. So we've got a little joke for you tonight. Don't email me on this joke, please. What does a sewer say when she sticks her finger with a pin? So this was told to me. You have to understand that when we film in the studio, PBS, like nobody sews. Everybody's just, they do what they do best, but no one sews. And so on the second day of filming that we were filming, everyone brought their best sewing jokes. And this one was voted as the best sewing joke. I think it was terrible, but it was voted the best, so I thought I would at least pass it on to you all. So what does a sewer say when she sticks her finger? Has anybody guessed it? When she sticks her finger with a pin? You all don't know this, huh? She says, ouch. Oh, someone did get it. Yay. Yeah, what everybody else says when they stick themselves with a pin. All right, so that's the spirit that we're going to start off tonight. Again, we're grateful that you all are here, grateful behind the scenes, everybody that's here. We appreciate it. Summer fashions. And oh my gosh, my head is exploding. There's just so many ideas I have. And, again, because, the reason I do this is because there are many of you who live in a place where you don't have the number of stores. And I think the number of stores are wonderful for collecting data. That's always what I call it. I'm not going shopping, I'm collecting data. I did do an Instagram this week of a jacket I saw, and I just thought it was extraordinary. I'm not sure that we'll do it or not. I mean, it's, but it was extraordinary. So if you're not an Instagram follower, I don't do a lot. But if I'm out shopping and I see something that I think is just marvelous, I will post it on Instagram just for everybody to see. So, we're going to start with a little series of photographs. And I love that we can do this because while I've made, umpteen number of outfits, I can get across so many more ideas to you all simply by seeing the photos or seeing what I've seen. Now, some of these were sent by customers. Some were taken by me with my little camera and then uploaded, and some are celebrities. We got a little mix of everything. Okay, so keep in mind, fashion is fashion. For me, I don't care who it's on. It doesn't make any difference to me who's wearing it. I don't care whether I like them or not like them. It doesn't make a difference. All right, I'm going to start with a really strong trend for summer, and it is stripes. So we're going to start with photo number 1 because stripes, you just, like when you walk into a store, I don't care if it's Target or Walmart, stand back and just look and you just count the number of stripes there are. It's like every other rack. There's so many stripes. If you hate stripes, gosh, I'm sorry. But I did show, and I've got some photos of some really cute ways to do some stripes. So now keep in mind that, you don't need to do them exactly like this. I just want to give you a general idea. Stripes are a lot of fun to cut up and put back together. Pattern number 117 is what we call our cut up tee, and it's a perfect pattern for stripes. Put them all different directions or different fabrics or anything like that. But this first photo kind of looks like that a little bit to me, just where stripes are one way and then another way, and it's a simple, clean line. But what you want to notice is where the cut is, because it's very diagonal and very vertical. And so your eye really has a tendency to take those stripes but still go up and down with them, even though some are horizontal. Okay? So that's what we want to do is marry our principles, our design principles in with our stripes and our patterns and the things we're doing with those patterns. Okay. And then if you just let me know, Benjamin, when there's any questions. Okay. Number 2, I wanted to show you, because that's our fabric. It's 1737, which is actually this one right here. It's a gray and white stripe. It's beautiful cotton. It's really nice. This time it's done in a rugby shirt. This is a tremendously popular, common look. I want to show and point out to you that silver and white is huge for summer. It has been many, many summers, but it is again. So just so you know, that silver and white combination is really popular. Hopefully you like one or another, and it's a really nice blend. If we go to picture number 3, I wanted to show you that because it's just a little tank dress is all it is. The nice thing about sewing is you can make it the length you want. And the only reason I really picked up on it is because we have the fabric. It's 1803. It's the same fabric as what this is right here. And I know a lot of you just absolutely love pockets. So if you love pockets and you're a pocket person and you just really like to put your hands in those pockets, this one's for you, number 3. All right, then we're going to go to number 4 and 5. And what I'm going to do is show you the front and the back. Now, this is a really great way to do stripes. I know we've talked about this before, and you see the chevrons, and we've done a YouTube on Let's Sew. We've done one of those on how to get those chevrons right, and you know how to do all that. The only thing I would probably refrain from is that band across the bottom. I'd probably put those stripes vertical. There's no reason to make them horizontal because that is the widest parts of our body in most cases, and to put them horizontal around your hip and tummy is probably not what I would recommend. In order to put them vertical, though, you've got to make sure that the stretch goes in that direction. So a lot of times when you're looking for stripes, you want to make sure that you have a two-way stripe, just an FYI. But I love the look and the play on the stripes, and I wanted you to see that. All right, then the next one, we're going to do 6 and 7 together. And really what they are, and the reason I wanted you to see this, is this look is very popular for spring. It's a very stripe created cut up look. It's why 4013, the dress I have on, Vince's dress, is the pattern of the month for July. It is a maxi dress. It can be made less. 2 weeks from now we'll have our webcast on the pattern of the month 4013, and I'm going to shorten it, lengthen it, cut it. I'm going to do all kinds of things with it to where you all will just love it. I hope you all will love it. The goal is to have you all love it because I just think it's probably one of my favorite patterns. This is the fabric that is, the fabric number on this is 1695. You guys, if I don't do pattern numbers now, I get a million emails on what pattern, what number it is. So that's why I started doing them in the webcast. So 4013 is 1695. It's variegated. So at the very bottom of this dress, and I know you can't see it, but that's where the stripes come into play. And it's just really fun to do a play on stripes like this. And it's really fun if you have stripes that are variegated. So this is a variegated fabric. But also with the picture we're looking at, I love the creation of the black and the cream and how they've done just completely different pieces and different textures. It doesn't have to be exactly like this. When you look at this, you think, what do you like about it? Or what don't you like about it? When I look at it, I like it, but what I don't like about it is you notice that that white panel is, that large white panel's at the bottom, and the next white panel is right through the middle of her body, and the up by her face is black, and so you actually don't even look at her, you actually look at the bottom of the dress. And so when we are designing and taking these stripes, and you know, we want to think about design and remember those design principles that our eye always goes to the light, and so don't put those light colors on the bottom unless you want to have everybody look at the bottom of your dress for whatever reason. But just be aware, and so be very careful when we go to do stuff like that. All right, so the next two I want you to see stripes because for summer, this is just a really large trend. Our pant legs, believe it or not, they've gotten wider. We're going to show this in this pant tonight, but they have gotten wider. So I went around and measured quite a few of them for you. So when I say wider, you'd get some idea. It is really important that you all decide what you like. However, I measured everything from 18 to 28. That's the circumference of each leg, of each hem. Sorry. That's a lot. That's 28 especially. Like I tried on a pair that measured 28 and I just laughed. I mean, you know, it was just comical as to what they look like. Although 20 inches, 22, gives you a really nice full look. This is 20. I'm going to show you how to do this a little bit later on. It's 20 and yet it doesn't overwhelm. So, but it still gives you the look. So I wanted you to see both of these pictures, and the reason I wanted you to see them, number 9 also, please, I don't know if you had that up. Yeah, was because the really most popular look is the wider leg at the crop length. That's the real summer trend. Wide leg, crop length, like halfway between knee and ankle. You know, that's fashion right now. Like, again, I tried that on, and I mean, wow, I just can't do that. I just can't. I know too many rules, but I see it and I like it. I just can't put it on me, but I still want to make you aware of it because I do like it, especially if you notice on the First Lady where she's got the dark top and the light pink and black check. We have a fabric that's 1647. It's a pink and navy that would be adorable. 1647, it's a Rebecca Taylor fabric. It would be adorable in these pants. And then just simply to do a navy casual top with them. And don't be afraid to put stripes and plaids together because they work well. We're gonna go through that and kind of show you that in a little bit too. The other crop pant, I just love the stripe, and notice how they go vertical and then horizontal at the hem. Now again, this is not a real slenderizing look. I don't know how else to say that. But you can make the most of it by minimizing how much circumference is at the hem. So be aware that inches make the difference, and I've always said this, the wider the hem, the wider you look. But if you make it all the way to the ground, as opposed to doing crop, then you can get away with it. Or you know, is it going to be your best look? No, but it's a great look. It's cute. It's fashionable. I just love it. I really, really like it. I don't know that I love it on me, but I did make this pair and I put them on and I love these. So, and they are, and again, I'll show you how that is. All right, so let's go to number 10. Again, because stripes are so popular, this is a 600 Classic Blouse is all this is. We've got lots of stripes in. The band is done in white. So, and then there's a seam across the bottom. So you get the different layers in there. Again, when we look at things like this, I think sometimes we forget to think to ourselves. We say, oh, I like that. But does it like me is kind of what I want to ask it back. Notice again that the white is right through the middle of her body. She's thin. Clearly, there's no issue with that. But you could take that and do the white solid panel at the top. And then do the stripes vertical to where it still gave you that two-tone look. But what I love about sewing is, and knowing these principles, we could just change it up to where it liked us back. So do the bodice part in white, and anytime we're doing this, we're just cutting a seam, adding seam allowance, and sewing it back together. It doesn't change the fit, it doesn't change the, you know, any of that. It's just seam allowance added, sewn back together. So I could do the white toward the top, the stripes vertical all the way around the body, and get that same really, really adorable look. Okay? All right, and then we're going to go to 1803. I'm sorry, the number, I don't know what the number is. Sorry. Oh, this one I wanted to show you because, again, that silver and white is such a classic for this summer. And you're going to see it a lot. Gray and white and beige and white. And, you know, beige and white, typically we would never put beige and white together. Ellie Tahari's doing it. Giorgio Armani's doing it. The Row, I don't know if you know Mary-Kate Ashley and the twins do the Row. That's the name of the line, is called the Row. They're doing a lot of beige and white in one garment, and it's so pretty. I mean, I think that in times we've said you got to go beige or you got to go white. When you do an outfit and it's all white, it's almost a little bit too puristic, kind of. It's almost overwhelming. But to take the beige and put the white with it, or vice versa, it's just really a softening of that white, and it really brings the white out beautifully. So this particular one, this is really the Megan's shawl that we did. So you could simply do that and put it on top, or you could do a Candosis top and then add another layer. But I just wanted you to see how pretty that asymmetric is. Again, because I'm looking at you looking your best, or when I look at a photo, I think, okay, how could we make this better? You could take the lower part and darken it. So you're lighter on top, you're gray in the middle, and then maybe a darker shade of the gray. Get 3 colors that you like together instead of just the 2 colors where you repeat the white at the bottom and that white pops out. And you'll find that I think you'll like it in the end a little bit better. And I think it's why a lot of times we say, gosh, I really like this photo, but once you get it made up and you put it on yourself, there's that translation that's lost. And the reason it's lost is because we haven't thought through those design principles, or maybe because we're not, 110 pounds. Okay, so then let's go to the next one. This I want to show you. It's really just really pretty, and we can do this. There's a few things that we're a little limited on. But the reason I looked at this is the wraps are everywhere. I mean, Diane von Furstenberg has a lot of versions of wraps, and I constantly visit her site to see what she's doing new in a wrap, or what version of a wrap she's doing, or whatever. This is by Theory. And this little top is, I don't know, it's $300, very pricey. It's at Neiman Marcus. You can kind of look it up. But what I liked about it is a wrap top, for the most part, is fairly fitted, I'm going to say. Not fitted, not overfitted, but just sleek to the body. This is done in a knit, number one, and you could easily put a sleeve on there if you wanted a sleeve. But the wrapping portion is done with elastic. Now, there is a black version, and the black clearly was the black elastic. This, Theory has dyed the elastic to match the yarn color, and so it's beautifully done in this color. I showed you this color because I wanted you to see how that elastic blends, but you could do it in a black and it would be really just as pretty. The black one is the one I saw in the store, and it was on a mannequin, and I just, it was beautiful. It was really, really pretty, very neatly done. So instead of the ties underneath and the ties on top, because they create sometimes some bulk, this is just a beautiful piece of elastic that is fixed. It's sewn in, so when you put the top on, the elastic has to stretch over your bust and then come back in. So there's a belt hole, like a buttonhole, I'm sorry, for the belt to go through on your one side, and so it goes out and around, and then you can see in the back how there's a little belt loop under there that they stuck to kind of make it, look like it's supposed to be there, and then it comes through the side seam into the inside. And so that wraps it. And so what it does is, again, because it's elastic, it's fixed. It doesn't mean it doesn't give a little bit as you move, but it takes away both ties. It pulls the underside over, and then it pulls the outside around. So it's just a really cute idea with a wrap top that I thought you might enjoy. Very contemporary and very clean. Really, really pretty, and I just really liked it. Okay, next one. Okay, so this brings us to where the garments I've made, because this is probably a really, really strong trend for summer, is off the shoulder. And we had a pattern that we did that's 118. Pattern 118, it has a collar on it, because a lot of off the shoulders have this collar across, but certainly by all means, you can just leave the collar off, and that's the look you get. And all I had was a front, a back, and a sleeve. It's a kimono sleeve. I'm sorry, it's a raglan. It's not a kimono. It's a raglan. There's a seam right here that comes in. This fabric is 1803. It's that new DKNY that we have. By the way, all of those fabrics are $12.99 until July 5th. And then they'll go back up to their regular price of $16.99. It's just kind of our pre-4th sale, and there's some absolutely gorgeous fabric. Now, when I see fabrics like that, my heart just takes another leap. One day if I die, it will probably be of a heart attack, and it will probably be in New York looking at fabrics. I'm just convinced of it, because I see these fabrics and they're so beautiful. I just go crazy. I mean, I can literally feel my heart beating really, really fast, because I just get so excited. They're so beautiful. These are such a great find. They're just such a great find. And someone emailed me today and asked me, there was one that we had run out of, and will we get more? No, these are closeouts. I mean, we're lucky to get these. Certainly not anymore. And I know y'all don't know that, and that's why you ask. But anytime I'm buying these fabrics, the reason they're so well priced is because they're closeouts straight from the designers. And so the good news is because we are selling the volume that we are, and we pay our bills, they're just contacting us more and more and more. And so our fabric quality, to me, is just going up and up and up, but our prices are still staying firm, and it's just really exciting. So this is just a 1-inch elastic is what I did here. So when I cut this piece out, I cut it out just like the pattern, but I did not use the collar that goes around. And then I just added 1 inch to the top so it could fold over, and it's a casing that I could run this across. This is so beautiful on. I mean, it's just really, really pretty. So you know, when you're doing a cold shoulder, you don't actually have to wear it all the way off the shoulder. You can just almost make it like a boat neck and make it a wider neck. So don't feel like, gosh, I don't want to, you know, bear my whole amount. You can really kind of show what you want or not. And so I just really like that look. I did not like the fullness of it. I wanted it to be a little more slim to the body. And so for me, that's why I did the sleeve. You notice in the picture, it's gathered. And I just didn't want all that extra. And my beauty is that fabric, which is the same as what this is, I had in a knit. And so I could take advantage of that knit as opposed to doing, you notice around the casing around her neck, how gathered that is? That's a woven fabric. And so she had to have that extra. Whereas if you minimize that gathers, it's much more, it's softer and it's more flattering as well. But just your choice. It depends on the fabric that you're dealing with. Okay, are we good there? Questions? Or what pattern would you use on picture 8? It depends on your fabric. This is the same look, I think, and I've used 3400 if it's a knit. If it's a woven, I'd go into 3414, which is Jag's woven yoga pant. So we've got both of them, or 3100, either one. But Jag's woven pant, 3414, has a wide band across the top, just like a yoga pant, and so it is meant for woven pant. Yoga pant made out of woven fabric. So just an FYI. All right, how do I figure out where a crop pant should hit my leg? Just go halfway between your knee and your ankle, and that's where they want to do, halfway in between. Okay, and don't make them too long, or else they'll look like, you know, they really need to be in proportion in order to look like cropped pants. Otherwise, you know, they just, and it is a problem to buy cropped pants because it's difficult for a manufacturer to know what height is going to wear them, and, you know, et cetera, et cetera. It's a hard thing to buy. Love the draping on that top. What base would you use to duplicate it? The basing on the top, yeah. Which top? Is that what we're asking? Okay. Yeah, we'll get there. Okay. All right, so that covers those questions. I want to go into now just some pattern combinations that I did that I mean, ever since we got the fabric in, I've kind of been chomping at the bit to share them, because I just instantly, when I saw the fabric, I thought, oh, that will make this, or that will make this. So I probably shouldn't do that, because we all definitely need to get out of the box. But in this particular case, I definitely did. All right, so the first thing I want to talk about is linens, because linens have just really been on the rise. You do not see them a lot in lower price points. You see them in higher price points. You see a linen that is okay to be wrinkled. I don't know how else to say it, but I just love it. The linen we have, both cases where I've used it tonight, I cut the yardage, I threw it in the washer, I threw it in the dryer. It didn't lose anything. I mean, I'm just surprised. 100% linen doesn't lose any inches. No color, no loss, nothing. So it's really spectacular for using as a dress, a top, you know, a vest. We'll kind of go through it all. All right, so let's start with, did she know which top it was? Did she come back? We'll get it. Hang on just a second. The one with the cape? Hang on, we're looking to understand what you're saying. The picture with a cape? Oh, yes, I'm sorry. Okay, yes. The one with the cape on it. I think you said try Candosa's top. Yes. Because Candosa's top, you could do a Megan's top and put it on top of a 195. We did the Megan's top, Megan's cape. And when I say Megan, I'm talking, that's not a pattern number. That's the Duchess of Sussex. You know, Harry's Megan. Because a couple of Let's Sew ago, we did the cape that she wore. It was a Givenchy cape over a dress. But that cape is the same one that was kind of in that picture. Do you mind putting that picture back up a little bit? I think it was number 11. There we go. Okay, so see, that's the cape. Very similar. I mean, there's a little differences. You notice it's longer at the sides. Hers was even across the top. But the very simple version that I did was longer at the side because it was simply cut straight and then it hung to the side. So, or you could use Candosa's top because Candosa's top has that overlay. Just depends on kind of where you want to start. And you could put the top on top of 195, which is the sweater set, and use the 195 2 layers and make it asymmetric. All right, so does that help? It was 197 Candosa's top over 195. Or just use Megan's cape and how I showed you how to make that over the 195. Okay? Okay. So when I hear summer, or when I see summer, I don't think I think of anything first. There's a few things that just pop into my head. And number one is white linen. I just love it. I love it. I love it. I just, I don't think there's anything that says summertime anymore. I think that I have found that throughout shopping, I have seen it repeatedly, a white linen vest. And so I did it. And I saw one that I particularly liked because, again, it was this white silver combination and there was hardware. And I loved the hardware. I loved the placement of it. And it was in Neiman Marcus. I don't remember the designer that it was, but this is so close to what it was that I've, kind of duplicated it for you. So this is $5.75. It's Sonia's blouse. And there's a few little things that I did here. Here on the, in the yoke line, regular yoke line, I went ahead and just added a flap. And that was only because what I had seen, sorry, this garment's falling back here, because what I had seen was done with a flap. So I thought, I'm going to add a flap in there, and then it had snaps, and I liked that as well. So it's a sleeveless $5.75. I made the same size as typical. I put a pocket on there again because the one I saw had a pocket, and I just loved it. Now, here's the thing that I really liked about this, and so I went ahead and copied all of it. The zipper, these are two different zippers, but because these are zippers from our site, and because we have the zippers made, the circles all match, the teeth all match, the colors all match. So you can mix and match them like this, because this one in the front is a dual separating zipper, and what I love about these when it comes to vest is you can just really use them as one button right in the middle, because you can unzip both directions and it just looks like it's a little button almost. And I just love that look. And you're seeing it a lot in ready to wear. And so these zippers, I had them made from my zipper person. But anyway, all right. So then here on the side is the pocket is a patch pocket. And just make them, the bigger the pocket, the bigger you'll look. So don't make them too crazy big. These, just to give you some kind of reference, are 7 by 5.5. 7 by 5. 7 by 5 is a good size. All right. And so what you want to do is sew the zipper, the bottom of the zipper, to the pocket, because what you want is you want this pocket to be functional. And so you don't want to sew the whole thing down. If you just sew it on, you can't use your pocket. So you'll sew the pocket to the bottom of the zipper, and then you'll place the zipper and the pocket, it's going to be connected at that point, and you'll place it on your vest, I'm going to call it, and you'll stitch all the way around and then continue. Now, I continued these zippers because I just really liked the look, and that's exactly, again, what they had done. It was just, zippers are really, they have been strong for a long time, but they're still really strong. Zipper, you can't go wrong with putting a zipper in anything, and it just makes it look a little more contemporary. It's kind of like off the shoulder, it's like stripes, it's really a contemporary look. So that's a very simple thing for you to do. I cut it longer because I wanted it to be a vest, so figure out how long you want it to come, how long it is, and then add that difference. I do want to show you one thing on this zipper because I really like the way I did this, and I'll just, it took me a while to kind of figure it out, and I'll save you a little bit of head time. You can do it many different ways. Many garments are just turn a seam allowance back and put it right on top of the zipper and stitch it down. Because Sonia's blouse had a And this is actually not the reason I decided to use this pattern, but what happened is it was so close to what the pattern looked like because it had a yoke and it had pockets that I could add, but the collar, that's why I chose it. But as it turned out, this worked just really beautifully. I love that front tab that goes down. So Sonia's blouse has a front facing, and this is different than any other blouse that we've got out there. If you have it, you're probably aware of it. If you don't have it, you're going to be totally confused because it's very different. So what you do is this facing is, let's just say you put it on the right side of the garment, and you're going to press under a 3/8 inch seam allowance. Okay, so that would be the right side is pressed under to the wrong side 3/8 on the finished edge, not on the edge that's going to be sewn to center front, but on the finished edge. So then you flip it around to the inside to where the right side is going to be against the wrong side of the fabric. The right side with that seam pressed under is going to be against the wrong side. And then you put the zipper in. So you put the edge of the tape here and you sew it. And then when you flip it all out, the teeth are out, this comes to the outside, and you top stitch it down. And it's a beautiful way because of the inside of this is all finished. There's no zipper that shows. I mean, it's really nicely done. I just love how it finishes. There's been many times when I've taken a zipper and I've just put it under and stitched it. But from the inside, I just don't like it as much as I do something like this. You can put a tape, you know, a lot of times designers will just put a piece of tape over it on the inside, and that is double stitched, and that looks nice. But I just really liked how it was secured inside. So finish off the tab, wrap it around. You're going to have the wrong side of the tab against the right side against the wrong side of the fabric on the inside. You'll sew the zipper and the front facing all at one time. There'll be the front of the top, the zipper, and the front facing. You'll sew it all at the same time, and then you'll wrap it to the outside. It's just really pretty. All right, so I hope you like that. I love it. I love my white linen vest. And again, I put it with the white and silver, and I would not put it with white pants. It's too much. I would go into either a silver or I'd go into a color like a coral, which introduces our next part, because I went to quite a few stores. But I went to, in here in Dallas, North Park is our largest Neiman's. You know, it's the #1 Neiman's in the country. So they get a lot more than any of the other Neiman's. So I always try to make it a habit to hit that particular one. I went to the second floor, which is the design level, and I'm telling you, I always will take a overlook of the store. And there was coral, and there was coral, and there was coral, and then there was coral. Not in every designer, but I'm going to tell you, in probably 90% of the designers, I could not believe the amount of coral. And so I had coral, and I went home and I made myself coral. Because to me, what says summer just really, really strong is a shirt dress, a shirt-waisted dress. And there's just some great ways to do them that are really wonderful. And I've paid a lot of attention, you know, to women who, you know, at the stores, at the airports, you know, it's not on purpose, I just kind of notice. So in this particular case, this is a coral linen, and this is 1706 is the fabric number. Again, put it in the washer, Coca-Cola, because it softens it, wash it, dry it, bring it out, no change, no alter, no nothing. It looked terrific. I wanted a coordinating pop because a lot of times in a shirt dress, to me, it looks a little masculine. So I wanted something that softened it a little bit. So I used this contrasting, which is 1749. And it's a beautiful tropical print. You know, this fabric is so fun. You could probably do the whole thing out of this. It's really a great, and then contrast it either way, whatever works for you. All right, so that was the front facing. I did it all the way down the front. I wanted a casing because I wanted it to have some shaping to it. Anytime you leave out that shaping, I don't care how large you are, you will look larger. So you want to, you know, bring it in. And so what I did is I took the selvage, I sewed 2 selvages together. There's a seam right down the middle. Then I just laid it right on top and stitched it on both rows. This is just a little self tie that I made. I used the selvage, fold, fold, top stitch. It doesn't have to be fancy. And that became the tie. You know, you make the whole dress and then you put it on and decide where the waist is. And if you want a little blouson, you pull it up a little bit. And if you want it straighter, you don't. You let it go. Short sleeve, really non-consequential. I didn't want anything fancy to the sleeve. I wanted all the attention here. That's why I didn't contrast the horizontal here, because I didn't want the horizontal contrasting around, you know, my waist. So I used a self-binding and just the tie at the waist because it kept my focus vertical. Okay, just some reasons as to why I did. And trust me, I completely understand that it's your garment, and you know, there's times where my mother would always say, well, I just want to do what I want to do, and I don't care how I look. And I hear that all the time. I hear that in my head all the time, you know. I'm bound up by a few more rules than what she was, but hey, it's okay. All right, and then I did buttons up the front. I use those same black buttons we have on the side. I just really, really like them. All right, in the back, I would like to show you just a couple things. Because in the back, in this case, it's just drawn. A lot of shirt dresses have some changes, and I kind of want to show you those changes of what you can do. They'll have a yoke. All right, and so somewhere across here, yoke, wherever you want one, you cut it, add seam allowance, sew it back together. You know, I mean, obviously the pattern, not the garment. And you will have a yoke across the back of your shirt dress. Some have a pleat right down the center of the back. So remember that if you add a pleat, you want to add twice the amount of the pleat you want width-wise. And so if you want a 1-inch pleat, and usually it's a box pleat is what it is, but it's still 1 inch. It's a 1/2 inch on this side and a 1/2 inch on this side. So you're going to open that up and add the inch. So, you know, you can do all of that. Now, if you're going though to gather the waist, don't do a box pleat. It's too much fullness trying to gather in. But the other day I saw a woman and she had on a classic shirt dress, which is, I think, what this is. But she had a yoke across the back, she had a box pleat in the back, and this was all open and full. There was no gathering. So, to illustrate to you all, we're just going to take this undone, and we're just going to leave it straight. Because what I want you to see is how fuller we look without that being sucked in. We need shape. And I don't care how big our tummies are, we can create an illusion, and that illusion is always going to be better than to not. But I do have great respect for the fact that it's yours and what you want to do, and if you want to lose 5 pounds really quick, this is how you do it. Look at the difference. I hope you all can see that difference. It's amazing, the difference. Okay, so it's really fun to use binding, contrasting binding. A lot of our drawstrings are on the outside now, so they're really fun and they're really simple. I do think that linen, as I see it more and more, is simply being like it's washed and left. I don't even know that it's pressed. So if you're not a big presser and you don't like to press, I wouldn't worry about it. I'd still use linen because it's beautiful. And there isn't a fabric that's cooler, I don't think, than linen. Okay. Any questions? Are we okay? Can we see the top under the vest, please? Yeah. Yeah, you have seen this. This was, we did a little YouTube, a Let's Sew version of it. I just had it and I wanted to have a vest to wear over it, and this was a perfect occasion to do so. So this was our fabric, again, I think it's 1737 is the fabric, and I cut down, this is the sweater set, and I just cut down and turned the stripes different directions. There's a little bit of crystals right here that are just really pretty. I know you can't see that. We're down a camera person tonight, so they can't zoom in for us, but there's just little crystals right here as well. It's that white and silver. The look is really pretty, and because this is all white and silver, it really makes a nice combination together. Okay? Okay. Sorry, is the dress $195? Is the dress? Oh, the dress. No, the dress is $600. I'm sorry, it's Classic Blouse. $600 is your shirt dress. It's just a shirt. You're just going to lengthen it and give it the dress. And I'm glad you asked that, because what I did at the bottom is leave it a shirt tail hem. Don't make it straight. I'm at the bottom of this, when oh, here, you can see it. Let me just show this. Let me just move that. I'll show this, and you can see that it's shirt tail. It goes down, it goes up on the side. Add enough length to where when it goes up on the side, it's long enough for you. But I think that's part of the look that I really like about it. Some of the shirt dresses I've seen, they're straight at the bottom, and they don't look like a shirt dress to me. But again, me. You get to decide. Okay, other questions? Is the base for the shirt dress $600? Yes, it is. Thanks. I see you use the classic shirt pattern. Would you skip the darts and use the casing instead? Yes, I'm sorry. I think I assumed you knew that. You still sew the horizontal darts. Don't ever not sew those horizontal darts. Horizontal darts will simply make it duplicate your body closer. There's no reason to release those darts. But your vertical darts are all about circumference. So when you're doing a casing, you're going to release those vertical darts and do the casing instead. So yes, absolutely. So thanks for that question. Appreciate it. And then the other thing I wanted you to see in linen, is that all the questions are okay? Yeah. Is this black, and this is $95. This is a black linen. Again, throw it in the washer, throw it in the dryer. I love this as just a coverall. You know, when I almost even in my pajamas and I've got to go out, I can grab something like this and throw on, because it just really elevates pajamas to be really nice. And I added a zipper in the seam just because, again, zippers are tremendously popular. Okay, so it's $95 with black linen with a little zipper in one side, a little asymmetric look. That asymmetric is very, very popular. Okay, so we've got linen, we've got color, we've got coral, we've got all kinds of great looks here. I want to remind you of how popular fringe is. This was an outfit we had done earlier. It's fringed all over the place, but it is really, really stylish for summer. I've seen a lot of it. I've seen it in the stores, on people, all over the place. Search fringed garments and you will see a lot. So all you're going to do is do 2 layers. 2 layers of the entire garment, fringe the top one, and then you have the bottom one left. Okay? Very easy to do. Just make sure that knit only will fringe and pull in one direction. The other side is not going to work. So make sure that when you're deciding which way to do it, even 2-way knits will only fringe in one direction. So just, I hate for you to mess that up. Be very careful which way you're laying it out to make sure the fringe sticks. Could you please explain again about the facing and the zipper? We'll just later on go back and just rewind, and you'll be able to play that section again. How I said it was very clear. Get the pattern in front of you, and or else do it with some paper, and you'll just see it. It's very, very easy to do. Okay, then if you have any questions about it, you can shoot me an email. I want to get through all of this, and we're running low on time. Okay, let's go ahead and pull up. Would you don't mind a blank for me, Benjamin? I want to draw a couple things that I've been asked. I mean, you know, my drawing ability, you guys know, sucks, but we're going to try it. Okay. Okay. So our collar on 600 looks like that. Wow, that's getting pretty good. That's like half the collar, let's just say. You cut it on a fold, you cut an upper collar and an under collar. So the question has been that Mandarin collars have been very strong for spring, and they're still in for summer. So how do I do a Mandarin collar? All I'm going to do is take this pattern, and right there, that's it. If I want a stand and a band, then I do the same thing. Cut it apart, add seam allowance, sew them back together. The reason I did not do that is from my training, this is a man's collar, and in one piece is a woman's collar. So when I released a pattern, I did a woman's collar. Many have said to me, I want a collar, I want a band, I want the, just divide it in half. The bottom is the Mandarin, the top is the is all styling. So then if you want all of it, but you want a band, some of you just like that better, that's the way you can do that. Okay, let's take that away. Thank you. All right, I wanted you to show you this one because, again, it combines stripes and it combines great color together. So I don't know the fabric number on this, but somebody, I mean, it's a stripe and it's really pretty. I mean, it's really pretty. I just love it. But I did number 112 because number 112 is a great, it's Casey's 5-way tops, and it's a great throw on for summer. And then of course it's kind of a base because in the winter you can go dark, and in the summer, and you can go light with it. I popped it lighter with this, kind of fuchsia color underneath. So it really has a nice ability to translate into the season you're in and make one garment give you a little more life. All right, so that's 112, and the top underneath it is 195. Okay. So now I want to talk about these pants, and I'm going to have you pull up, if you don't mind, the yoga pant pattern. So let's talk a little more about this widened leg. And it's interesting because as we watch fashion over the years, and we all watch it, we all live it, we all wear it, we've seen the legs go narrow, 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 leggings, and I've sat back and I've thought, okay, when are they going to go wide? And if they go wide, is anybody going to accept them? And I'm really surprised to see them go wide, and I'm surprised to see the acceptance. They are beautiful. I mean, when they're done well, they're really pretty, and they're very feminine, and I feel certain that's why they're doing well, because they are a very feminine pant as opposed to our straight legging type things that we've had. They are a really nice change-up. Now, I'm not telling you tomorrow they're all going to be different, that the straights are going away. They're not. But for fall, we are seeing a wider leg, and we're seeing it consistently. All right, so let's just talk about some ways to do this and do this right. This is the yoga pant. You've only got 3 pieces. Now, this is kind of crazy, but before I saw this DKNY fabric, I didn't even know it existed. I had seen these pants in the store, and I just went nuts over these pants, and I thought, it's kind of sad that I can't do a pair of pants like that because I can't find the stinking fabric. And that's always, from the time I first started sewing in high school, it's always frustrated me. I saw these beautiful things in the store and I couldn't find the fabric to do them. And lo and behold, then this DKNY fabric came, and I was like a kid. I was jumping out of my underwear. So what I love about this is several things. It's beautiful and soft. It's a border print, we're going to call it, a gradation print, where the top part now is at my hip because it's going to make me look thinner, and the light is at the bottom because that's where I want people to look. Now I'm coupling it with this top so you can see that it'll, the whole look will be up and down. There is another top that I'm making that I'm not finished with, and it's the new fabric that I just put up. It's 1815. It's a solid gray, and it matches, it's a DKNY also, and it matches this gray beautifully. And I feel kind of bad because we've shipped and sold a lot of fabric over the weekend. I did not have that dark gray up, and it does blend beautifully with this, and it's a 2-way stretch. It's a really nice fabric. But if you wanted to just do a solid top, that would be the way to go. You could do the solid gray, and then you would see the gradation. Okay, so let's look at the pattern work here. Like I said, I just love these pants. And I know for some of you, they're just going to say, nope, those are way wild and way too much. And they might be for me too, but I'm certainly going to wear them to the grocery store. I'm going to wear them, wherever I want. I'm going to make a little jacket, and I'm just going to have fun. Okay, so let's talk about the bottom. All right, what we're going to do on the yoga pant currently, that is about a 16-inch bottom. So measure the size you're using, and then measure what you want your final pant to be. I only went to 20. Okay, I was not looking to, be the biggest trendsetter on the planet, if that's okay. So that was 4 extra inches I was adding. So on both the front and the back, I came out an inch on each side, and I'm doing a little exaggerated there just so you can see it. I did an inch on each side. Okay, then because now this drawing actually is not as shaped as the actual yoga leg is, but where I'm going to take this point to is I'm going to go right, let's erase that. Do you mind? Erase those last couple things. Let's try this better so you can, one more. Thanks. Okay, so I'm going to, this point right here, I wanted to keep it straight. That's about as straight. Looks like I had one too many drinks before this webcast. But anyway, I want to take it all the way to the hip. I don't want to come in under the hip. The yoga pant will come in. So you want to fill that in. That's the side seam. And when you go to do this side over here, you want to do the same thing, same shape. Bring it straight up right there into the hip. This one over here, you'll see it curves in for the crotch. Don't curve in. Again, make those lines linear. And almost like a square is really what you want. Now, I always say this, shop, 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 shop. I think you guys get that idea. Measure the circumferences of those 3 points. You want to measure the circumference of the thigh, the knee, and the hem. And try them on so that you'll see what they look like on you. You'll find that the hem circumference is amazing how much it varies. 28 inches to 18 inches. That's 10 inches on each leg. That's a large variance. So I think everyone can wear them. It's just a matter of how the style of the leg, as opposed to, you know, making it really exaggerated at the bottom. Then when you lay these down, you'll lay them down at the same place on the line, same place, and then just go all the way up. And you can see that they are just really fun because they match all the way. There is a seam. It's the yoga pant. It's exactly what I did, but because they're matched on the side, you don't even see that seam as to where it is. And it's really not hard. I mean, you know, just line it up and go. Okay, and then so they match all the way around. And they're just fun. I can't wait to wear them. I can't even wait to wear them. And I don't even know where I'm going, but I promise you, I'll find some place to go where I can wear my pants. Okay. All right. So any questions? I'm only 5'1". Would 16 be wide enough? You know, that is a style question, and so I don't know. But what you need to do is measure your normal hems to see what a difference. So I'm going to tell you, for me, my normal would be 12 inches, maybe 13, maybe 14. So that was 6 extra inches for me total circumference, and that gave me the look I want. I did not guesstimate. Even if you have to go shopping, you know, just something local, these wide legs are fairly popular. You'll find them, try them on, and just to get an idea. I just wouldn't guess at it, and I hate to say that, but I just wouldn't take the guessing because it's so much trial and error. You know, last thing I'll say about this is if you're going to guess wider because you can always bring it in. So FYI. And get somebody with a, you know, kind of a honest opinion to look at them. 5'1", you can do it. You're just going to be careful and keep those proportions in scale because you can absolutely do it. Okay. So if you want to narrow the leg, is it the same process? Yes. Whenever you're narrowing a leg or widening a leg, equal and then taper it up. Okay. I'm 5 feet. With these pants make me look heavier and shorter. Don't go there. Just depends on what fabrics you use, how much drape it has. Don't use a heavy fabric with a wide hem. This is not heavy, and so it drapes beautifully. It comes into the body, and as I put them on and as I walk, they look like a thin leg even though they're wider. And so the fabric combination with that styling is really, really important. Okay, I think we've got everything. And we're right on time. We just got a few minutes left. Is there any questions we can answer? So much fun. Summer fashions are just really fun. The goal is to stay cool, you know, and just look beautiful and feel beautiful and really have fun with what you're doing and what you're making. And, you know, the fabrics for summer are fun. They're light, they're stripes. You know, I did not mention 450, Nancy's blouse. 450, and I actually had a picture on my computer and I forgot. $4.50 is Tory Burch. It's Classic Blouse. $4.50. We call it Nancy's blouse. Nancy's my sister, but it was copied after Tory Burch, and it is a yoke front, a little V-neck, and it's I've seen it over and over again with like little, I'm sure you've seen it with like shoelace, you know, I hate to say shoelaces, but like a shoelace, you know, grommets. There's like two, and they go down to the V, and then they lace the little shoelace kind of in there. It's a really popular look for summer, and I forgot to get a picture, and I didn't make the sample, but I wanted you to be aware of that because it is done in stripes, solids, all kinds of different colors, and then literally you can buy a shoelace and do the little grommets and get them to be really nice. It's a really nice combination. Okay? Okay. So we are, any questions that we can answer? What is the pattern for the blue fringe dress? Oh, this is actually not a dress. This is 9:15. This is Hugo's favorite cardigan. It's a cardigan. I cut it the same exact length. I just wrapped it and put a little belt on it. I guess you could make a dress out of it. I never thought of that. It's cute. But that's 9:15. Hugo's favorite cardigan. Did you say the pants are 1806? 1806. Yes, that's the fabric. But now this is the charcoal color. You have a choice. The same fabric is in black, navy, and charcoal. It's all called the gradiated, and they're different. The 1806, this is the charcoal. You could do the navy or the black. Same thing. Do I need extra yardage to do the stripe matching on the pants? No, I mean, the stripes run the selvage. So I would recommend 2 yards, because then what I did is I folded the 2 yards in half, linear, and then you put the pants this way. The stretch of the fabric goes with the stripe. Actually, it's 2-way, it doesn't matter. But, you know, you want the stripes to go around, so because they run with the selvage, the pattern goes perpendicular to the selvage. And so you just line up the bottom to whatever stripe you want at the bottom. I put it down as far as possible because I wanted as much of the white as possible. Of course, up here, you know, it's almost like a black pant or a charcoal pant, whatever. Can you use 600 to make a blouse with a placket, like a Henley, not buttoning all the way down? I mean, you can if you know how to do the sewing on that. We have 225. 225 is Sarah's top, and 225 is a Henley placket in a knit. So I would recommend you look at that one. I mean, you've got to know how to make the pattern and how to cut the facing, and that's probably not pattern making 101. I mean, it's not hard, but you got to know how to do all that. Okay, so we're going to say thank you all for being here. We appreciate it again very, very much, and we have all kinds of specials going on. Oh my goodness, check the website, they're all there. We'll send an email out tomorrow, and we will see you in 2 weeks. And you guys know it's happy sewing from Silhouette Patterns. Good night.